before we get into our topics, I have one off the top that we were just mentioning a couple minutes ago before we got on live. And I had somebody ask me, what do I think of this current season of Mandalorian season 3? I've stated on this channel multiple times before, I am not a huge Star Wars fan. I'm like your general Star Wars fan. But the one thing that I really liked was Mandalorian. I love season 1. I really love season 2. Um, Now we're on season 3. I can say season 3 had a good start. Like I love the first 2 episodes. Um, After that, I hate this show. I was just telling the guys, I really hate this show. They're doing I don't know about y'all, but I don't know what the end goal is supposed to be now. Like at first I had a clear idea, but now they kind of wrap that up by episode 3, so I'm kind of like, well, what the fuck else are you guys doing? And not only that, just some of the decisions that they're making from a narrative standpoint are not that great. It's kind of turning into Boba Fett season 1 after episode 3 for me. And then this is not the shit on actors and artists who want to do different things. I think Lizzo being a part of Mandalorian is definitely different for her career. But let's be very clear. I don't think Lizzo knew what Star Wars was before they asked her to be a part of Star Wars. And this is not the shit on her acting ability because I don't consider her an actor, but it was literally just Lizzo in Star Wars. Whatever character she was portraying, fuck the name of the character. It was literally just Lizzo. And then Jack Black, who is a thespian actor, same thing. It was just Jack Black. Regardless of whatever character he was portraying, it was just Jack Black. There's a scene where in that particular episode where Baby Yoda is looking at Lizzo, and I kept thinking to myself, Baby Yoda's looking at Lizzo like, who the fuck is this person in this episode? Like, why are you here? Like, I think season 3, from a narrative standpoint, is going off the rails. I think Favreau and Dave Filoni need to go back to the drawing board if they're going to do season 4 to wrap up the series. I'm hearing they're probably going to do like a movie or something of that nature. Me personally, again, Mandalorian is my favorite out of the Disney Plus Star Wars stuff. This season, I really hate, and I hate saying that because I felt bored every time. Like Andor kept me on my fucking feet. This, I'm like, really? Like, are you serious right now? So I don't know. From the Star Wars fans, Jeremy, what do you think about Mandalorian season 3? And am I being too harsh on this particular season?
I'm gonna be honest. Just for the flow of things, I kind of would rather hear Ian's take first because I feel like y'all might. Is it fair to say y'all are kind of on the same page?
No, we're
okay. All right, talk to me, man.
So I understand his criticism though, so it's not my favorite season, but I don't think they're going off the rails. I think they were. I agree with everything he said about the episode with Lizzo and Jack Black. I think Star Wars is probably better off doing like unknown actors or like it, or not as big as Jack Black or Lizzo. Like it does take you out of the show. So I 100% agree with him. Like I was just the whole time I was like, that's Lizzo and that's Jack Black. But like when we watched, say, The Force Awakens, we didn't really know who Daisy Ridley was or John Boyega or Adam Driver were. Like, so it kind of was like we're in that world. I agree with that. And there was some moments like, I don't know, the season I was just like, let's get back to what this season was supposed to be about, taking back Mandalore. And we're finally there, which I think the last episode was probably one of my favorite episodes, if not of the series. But there was times I was like, let's get back on track. But when they were on track, I loved it. And I got to correct Alex one time. You got to stop calling him Baby Yoda, man. It's kind of like calling you a black YouTuber. His name's Grogu. Yeah. But
he will always be Baby Yoda to me. Okay.
But yeah, I think it's got great stuff. Is it my favorite season? No, it probably is my least favorite season, but I don't think it's like it's like a shit show, like you're saying. I think it does. I would do things differently. But I think now that they're on track, which sucks that they're on track, there's one more episode left. It was like this one and one more. I wish the whole season was like Taking Back Mandalore. That would have been great instead of these side quests. But that's what he does. Mando, he goes to a planet like, hey, can you show me where this is, or can you give me this? Not until you save us from the people that's been putting us for slavery for years. All right, fine, I'll save you, and then give me what I need. That's what it's been since season 1.
That's so
facts. Yeah, I get it, but at the same time, I kind of wish that was the whole thing, was Taking Back Mandalore.
I thought the whole season was supposed to be based upon Taking Back Mandalore. These side quests are getting annoying.
Okay, so all right, here I can't believe you're so mad about this, dude. You, Alex, are wild. Ian, you got a nuanced take, and I appreciate you for that, my guy.
Thank you.
Look, this season has been about uniting all of the clans to take back Mandalore. It's been a slow drip because first it had to be Sabine had to have that transformative moment when she actually comes in contact with that mythosaur, right? And I thought that was really cool. We still don't know, was it like a spiritual vision like the armorer says it was, or did she actually see a mythosaur down there? But it was like a baptism and a rebirth. I really like that. I like that they're doing these things where they're manipulating Jedi and Force-sensitive DNA into clones. I think that could have some interesting implications moving forward. I really like seeing these stormtroopers with Beskar armor and freaking jetpacks on. Like, they're remixing the Star Wars stuff that we know. And look, over the years, I'm supposed to be the most down on Star Wars. I did grow up a huge fan, but like, there's a sameness to all of it. It's constantly retreading the same things, but at least they're taking things that we recognize and doing something different with them. Like, I really like this season, and I feel like the ratings are dropping every single episode. Like, less and less people are watching it. Andor was the least viewed of the Star Wars series, and it's the best one. I think that they know that they have to do some different things, and they're struggling to find their footing in that. When we look at like Ahsoka bringing in the live action Rebels, I hope that like moving forward, they can give us something a lot more individual, like that has its own identity. But I think that what they're doing with the Mandalorians is interesting. And while if you did watch Clone Wars or Rebels, you've seen a lot of their customs and their cultures before, I really like to see it brought onto the screen in this way. And that episodic nature, I do agree that those side quests are kind of taking away from the serialized storytelling. I think a lot of people like Mandalorian because you can like turn it on and watch it and then move on to the next thing instead of it all being super connected. But I feel like it's going more in that direction of being super connected, which is what you're talking about, where the whole season is about reclaiming Mandalore. I thought that last episode with Lizzo and Jack Black was cool. Like, I totally agree that you're looking at Jack Black and Lizzo, and they weren't my favorite part, but what they were doing with the droids, I've always asked, like, how much empathy are we supposed to have for droids? If you stab a droid, does it feel it? You know what I'm saying? Like, because in episode 4, they like press these hot irons to the bottom of this droid's feet and it screams. So I've always wondered, do they have nerves? That doesn't seem to add up. But we learn in this last episode, which maybe is a whole other conversation to be had, but that they essentially like to be useful to humanity, that they like enjoy their roles and they're happy to like have a purpose, I guess, in their existence, which the line of what is sentient from what is not sentient is being blurred every day with things like ChatGPT. So anyways, I thought the subtext of that was interesting. I thought it was a cool time to be exploring it. This last episode was dope. I will say that every time there's an action sequence now, all I think is it's not as good as John Wick 4. But I'm really digging this stuff moving forward. So I'm curious to see how this last episode wraps up. I like Giancarlo Esposito a lot, and I'm really stoked to see Sasha Banks, a.k.a. Mercedes Varnado, get an actual like role this season. So yeah, I got thoughts. I like it more than y'all. That's wild.
Yeah. I think it's gonna it looks like the grand finale is gonna be dope though. Like, considering that last episode, it looks like it's building up to something like great. Which I said, like, I wish the whole season was like that, but it looks like these last 2 episodes might be the best Mandalorian.
Yeah.
got something else to say too. Christopher Lloyd, who I love, Back to the Future Cup right here.
Yes.
That one also threw me out a little bit. I did like what he was saying, though. I understood his point of view. But at the same time, it looked like an old man just like yelling at the cloud.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I mean, I agree with those points. I would say I am interested to see how it's going to end, but I'm not gonna lie, I won't be surprised if the ending is underwhelming, in my opinion. That's just me, but I get it. Maybe I am being too harsh on it, but at the same time, because people have made that point. If you watch season 1, it was nothing but side quests, and then also protecting Grogu. But at this point, I'm kind of like, all right, I would figure that it would be a little bit more intense and dynamic in the process of taking back Mandalore by grabbing all these different Mandalorians together. And by the time we get to the last episode, it's going to be like a full 60-minute gritty war between our Mandalorian and his people, and then the other Mandalorians. That's what I would assume. But
I actually like the politics. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I actually like the politics. I like the politics on this season too, though. Like, you know that whole episode that they did on, what was it, Coruscant? With the guy, they're now good people technically.
Yeah.
It looks like they're going toward like he's the one that made Palpatine or whatever. But I like that episode. I like that she's a spy in the New Order and all that shit. I think that was actually really good writing, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I feel that. But what do you guys think? Just jump into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts about what you think of Mandalorian season 3. Do you think that the finale will definitely tie it all together and make it a great season? Let us know in the comment section below. I want to take this moment and thank our sponsors, Blurred Creations. Blurred Creations is an independent Black-owned anime apparel company that produces high quality apparel on their website. If you go to Blurred Creations, you get things from shirts to accessories to all different types of apparel of your favorite anime characters. And guess what, guys? We're running a special on this particular website. If you type in the promo code MOMENTUM, you get 15% off each purchase of any item on the website. So if you are a supporter of mine and you want to support this independent Black company, go to their website at Blurred Creations, type in the word momentum, and you get 15% off each purchase on their website. I want to thank you guys again for supporting our sponsors, and also, guys, be a sponsor and a subscriber of our YouTube channel, Momentum Media.